around her neck. That's wrapped up in Madhu Mangal's dhoti. So the cowboys are picking up ladders and they saw this jewel locket and they see whose name is there. They go, whoa, 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 what kind of dakshin is this, Madhu? Whoa, whoa. So he's ready to break his Brahmin thread. Just at that time, Shyam Sundar appears on the scene. He says, wait, what are you guys doing? Don't you know this is not a, he's a Saka, but he's not a Gop. He's not a Gwal like you. This is a Brahmin. You're doing Brahman aparad. You give him back his dakshina. So all the cowherd boys give back their dakshina, but Krishna, he very carefully takes that jewel locket and keeps it in his dhoti. Like that. So then Madhu Mangal he goes off in the forest to enjoy his Brahmin dakshina. So this is Gwal Pokar. Oh, Giriraj Maharaj! So that time when they were doing the Anukut ceremony, the Govardhan Puja, 5,000 years ago, this is where Nanda Baba kept all of his cows. So this is called Hari Go Kutir. Hari Go Kutir. And here we see Giriraj just giving us nice darshan here. We have beautiful Kadamba tree here in front of me. On the other side here we have a special tree. There's two types. This has got the big fruits, and there's another one with fat. This has thin leaves and fat fruit. The other has fat leaves and tiny fruit. But this is not the season. So this is, you can see, they grow so slowly. This is a very ancient pillar tree if you want to. Oh, Manasi Ganga! Of Haridev. You see with his left hand raised holding Govardhan hill. So it's described that when Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago was doing Govardhan Parikram exactly like us, he came here to Manasi Ganga, he took his bath, and then he came here to take darshan of Haridev. So whenever we do Govardhan Parikram, first we must take bath, even if it means just taking some drops of water on our head, and then we must come and take darshan of Haridev to get his blessings for our Govardhan Parikram. The original deity was chased away by the invaders, and he's in a town just near outside of Kanpur somewhere. We went and took darshan of that original Haridev. He and Adi Keshav from Mathura, they both went. They were about 1 kilometer apart. Adi Keshav's been stolen, but we saw that Haridev is still nicely situated there in a small, tiny little village. And it's described when Mahaprabhu came here, then on seeing this beautiful deity of Haridev, he began to dance in ecstasy. And all the Brishbasis were astonished. They saw this beautiful golden form, but they could understand that this was none other than their Brajendananda and Shyam Sundar. Brajendananda say, Sati Sutta Vailoji. They said, except that he's no longer carrying flute, he's carrying water pot, and his complexion is golden. This is our very own Shyam Sundar. So it is said that in Braj, there's 4 devs. In Gokul, there's Baladev. In Mathura, there's Keshav Dev. In Vrindavan, there's Govindadev. And here in Govardhan, there's Haridev. So this is, please don't take any photos or they'll close the darshan. But this is a very, very beautiful deity. There was a special mantra. We'll all chant that mantra before Haridev. Then we'll go out in the hall and hear some more katha. But when Mahaprabhu was doing his Govardhan Prikrama, he has his very special Prikrama mantra. So everybody can repeat that mantra after me. What is it? I am Abala excuse me. Antayam Adrir Abala Haridas Avaya Yam Ramakrishna Charanam Sparsham Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Kanayos Tayoyat Paniya Suyavasa Kandara Kandamula Antaya Madhirabala Haridasa Vajo Yam Ramakrishna Charanam Sparasam Pramodat Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoyat Paniya Suyavasa Kandara Kandamula And since we're standing in front of this beautiful deity of Haridev, because later on we'll see the old temple of Gopalji, who's now become Srinath, but he was on top of the hill and Mahaprabhu refused to walk on top of the hill. So somebody came and said, some Turkish soldiers are coming, take your deity and flee. So they fled to Gantoligram, and there Mahaprabhu went and saw that beautiful form of Gopalji with his left hand raised in the air. And Mahaprabhu chanted a very nice verse. You'll find the English translation in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. By the way, this first verse is from Venugit, like 4th or 5th. You can find it in Srimad Bhagavatam as well as Chaitanya Charitamrita, both of which Prabhupada has translated for us. You can fully gram, you got darshan of Gopalji with this beautiful, just like if you saw 2 nights ago the moon, just like that, eyes like that, and his left hand raised. And he said, Vamastamara sakshasya bhuja danda sapattuva krida kandukatam jena nito govardhano giri. The Bhamas we know means left. So may that left hand, tamara sakshasya, that beautiful lotus eye, tamara means lotus, aksha means eye, tamara sakshasya. May that left hand of that beautiful lotus-eyed Lord Krishna, which lifted Govardhan hill just like a plate, kride kandukatam jena, nito govardhano giri. Bhamas tamara sakshasya. Bhuja danda supattuva. May that left hand always bless and protect you. You may remember this verse from Nectar Devotion, but the Sanskrit is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can find this verse there, where Mahaprabhu is doing Govardhan Prikrama. So everyone can come. There was one demon named Vatsasur, who came in the form of bull, somebody says. Cow, somebody says. Calf, somebody says. So what form he came in? Calf. He came in the form of calf. Vatsa means calf. Also in Hindi and Sanskrit, when we want to refer to child, we'll also say Vats. Because as soon as you see calf, that Vatsalya Ras begins to flow in your heart, isn't it? So when we see child, that same type of breast comes, so we call, hey butts. Huh? This is a very affectionate term we call for the younger persons. Hey butts. So then he wanted to continue playing with the cowherd boys. They said, we can't play with you. You have done a big pop. You know pop?
Sin.
Like 7-Up and Pepsi. No. Pop means sin. So you have done a big pop. We can't be associated with you. So then Nandan said, so what can I do? How I can get free from that pop? And the cowherd boy said, you will have to go take bath in Ganga, then you can get free from this pop. And Nandan said, Arey, but Ganga is so far away. How I can go so far away? He said, by meditation I will bring Ganga here right on the side of Govardhan hill. So Thakurji, he sat down and he began to meditate, and from his mind, Manasa means? From his mind, he created Ganga right there on the side of Govardhan hill. So therefore this is called Manasi Ganga, that Ganga that was created from the mind of Lord Krishna. So then he took his bath in that Manasi Ganga, and then the cowherd boys were able to play with him again. So another time, Sandilya Rishi came. He's the guru of Nanda Maharaj. Just like Gargamuni, he's the guru of Vasudev. So guru of Nanda Baba is Sandilya Rishi. So one day Sandilya Rishi came, and he was glorifying Ganga to all the Brishbasis. And he was talking about the glories of that Ganga. He said there was one Samp, you know, snake. He lived right on the side of the Ganga. He had his hole there. He was coming and going and coming and going. One day he came up out of his hole, and who was flying by in the sky? Garud. And Garud, he likes to eat snakes. So immediately he swooped down, he grabbed that snake in his talons, he began to carry him up in the sky. As that snake died, the tip of his tail fell down, and just the tip of the tip of the tip of the tip of his tail touched the Ganga as he left his body. As soon as his tail touched the Ganga, immediately that snake manifested a foreign form just like Vishnu. And Garud, he was so shocked, he put him on his back and took him back to Vaikuntha in the self-same body. So son, that is the glory of Ganga. So on hearing this, Nanda Baba thought, let us all take a pilgrimage and go to the Ganga and take bath. So then they began to make preparations. Now Nanda Lala, he saw that Mother Yasoda is making all kinds of funny prasad today. Not rice, dal, sabji, chapati and all this thing. She's making all these little fried things, little fried dal and what do we call it, matri, and maybe he made some kakra also, and all types of little dried and fried things that will last for a long time. Just like when you go on the trains, you've been on the train, you saw the Indian people, they bring out their little tiffin, they have all types of little fried things. Because even today, many people will not eat anything outside of their house. They won't buy it. So they have to carry with them things that will last. So Lala came, oh Maya, what kind of funny bhojan are you making today? What kind of funny bhojan are you making today, Maya? He said, Lala, we're going on pilgrimage, so I'm making all these nice fried things. They will last for a long time and we'll eat them along the way. And Maya, where are we going, Maya? Where are we going? Lala, we're going to take bath in Ganga. Acha Maya. And how far away is Ganga? Oh Lala, I'm busy cooking. You ask too many questions. You go ask your Baba. So he went to Baba. Baba, where are you going, Baba? Baba, where are we going? He said, Lala, we're going to go take bath in Ganga. Acha Baba? But Baba, we don't have to go so far away to take bath in Ganga. Ganga's right here on the side of Govardhan hill. Arey Lala, what are you talking? No, Baba, I know it. You come see, Baba. And he took Nanda Baba by the finger. He said, come Baba. And he took him by the finger. And they brought all the Brishbasis here. And Nanda Baba said, Arey Lala, what do you mean this is Ganga? At that time, Ganga Devi personified appeared riding on a crocodile, magarmach. Ganga Devi appeared riding on a crocodile. And she told Nanda Baba and all the Brijbasis that no, this Ganga is created by the meditation from the mind of Lord Krishna. This Ganga is 10,000 times more purifying than that other Ganga. So you just got little drops of water on you from that 10,000 times more purified Ganga. Huh? This is Manasi Ganga. So then all the Brijbasis took their bath here. They were very happy. Now, you saw people were putting little deeps on the side. Tonight, if you rent a taxi and come back here, if you're still have enough energy, you can see that all the four sides of Manasi Ganga, there'll be beautiful deeps. Tonight is Diwali. So all the four sides of Manasi Ganga will have deeps. Very, very beautiful. We came here one time. We put 108 deeps on the side. People come here. They also go to Radhakund and put deeps on the side of Radhakund. It's a very beautiful festival. If you have energy, you can take a taxi and come back and see. So, in the middle, or across from where we were taking water, you saw there was a big tall temple. Inside that temple, I didn't want to go there because it just becomes too much confused and everybody will get lost. But inside that temple, there's a very beautiful Shila that's known as the Mukharavind. Mukharavind means lotus mouth. Of course, Govardhan, just like we know, Angani Yasya Sakalindriya, Krishna, any part of his body can do the part of any other part. But all our acharyas and our Gaudiya Sampradaya have told us that this is the Mukharavind, this is where we can make our offerings to Govardhan. There's another place where Vallabhacharya claims to be the Mukharavind, but anyway, Angani Sakalindriya, every part can do the part of any other part. But this is our Mukharavind. And one Shila is there, you can see peacock feather in that Shila, it's called Mukatmani. Now across from other side of Manasi Ganga is Chakratirth and Chakleshwar Mahadev. Because when Krishna lifted up Govardhan hill, then the Sudarshan Chakra was spinning right above that place and keeping all the rain from coming down. Like that, everybody took part in this passage. So then he came and rested at that place that is called Chakratirth. There Sanatana Goswami used to have his bhajan kutir. And he was staying there because Chakleshwar Mahadev is there. There's 11 Shiva lings there in that place. Very beautiful temple. But Sanatana Goswami was always being bothered by mosquitoes. Because here's so much water. Water means mosquitoes will be there. So one day he got up to leave. Now, one old Brahmin came. He said, Baba, Baba, where are you going? Baba, where are you going? So I can't stay here. These mosquitoes are just too much. You know, I have to go some other place. I can't do my bhajan here. He says, oh, that's the problem. Then he revealed himself. That old Brahmin was none other than Chakleshwar Mahadev, Lord Shiva. He was relishing the association of Sanatana Goswami. So he didn't want him to leave. He said, don't worry. I will talk to Mosquito Dev, the demigod in charge of the mosquitoes. And no mosquito, Kira Dev, Machar Dev, I don't know what it's like. Anyway, so no mosquito will ever bother you. So even today in that place, you can go there, no mosquito will, even today, no mosquito will bother you. Sanatana Goswami was staying there. He also disappeared in that place. During the summer, there's one Purnima called Guru Purnima. We know Gaur Purnima, this is Guru Purnima. On that day, Sanatana Goswami used to take all the Vaishnavas on Parikram of Manasi Ganga, and they all came, and they found that Sanatana Goswami had entered into the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and everyone was just crying, hoy, hoy, hoy. Then they took his body in a big procession back to Madan Mohan temple and laid his body at the lotus feet of Sri Madan Mohan. So one other little pastime, over just nearby here on the side here, there's one place called Brahmakund. What happened was, you remember one time Brahma, he stole all the cowherd boys' calves and like that. And then Krishna expanded those the cowherd boys and calves. Why did he steal them? Because he came there, he saw that Krishna was sitting with all his friends, and he took a bite of his laddu, and then he passed it to his friend. He said, just see what nice sweet my mother Yasoda gave me. Do we do like that? Do we bite our food and we give to somebody else? Do we do like that? And Kahur boys, what did they do? They took bite out of their laddu and said, Lala, you just see, a Kanaya, you just see what type of laddu my Maya sent. Huh? Do we do like that? We make the bhog offering, we take bite and then we take the plate and the altar? If we found our pujari doing like that, we'll take stick and beat him out of the time. So Brahma was confused. This is Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, acting like this? This is very low class. How can you take bite and give to someone else and take someone else to bite and you take? How can you do like that? He got confused. So he did test. So later, of course, he realized this mistake when he came back after a moment, which turned out to be 1 year here. He saw everyone was still there. And by his mystic power, he could see those other ones were still there, and those were here, and those were there, and those... Then he just became stunned, and he fell down and offered his obeisances, and then Krishna forgave him, and then he was thinking, wow, I really blew it. Because all the time, we make offerings to Krishna, but anybody ever saw that he took bite out of the bhava that you offered? Anybody ever saw? We never saw. We have faith. Our Guru Maharaj told us, Prabhupada told us, that you offer like this. You say these prayers and offer. We have faith that Krishna ate, but we never saw. Krishna was taking bite out of that laddu and handing to his friend in front. This was real Mahaprasad. Krishna took bite and he handed that laddu to his friend. Then Brahma realized, wow, I really blew it. How to get some of that Mahaprasad right from Krishna's mouth. But he's Brahma, creator of the universe. I mean, all these little cowherd boys, they're just associated with Krishna just like he's their friend. They climb on his back and they take a bite out of his laddu. Huh? So Brahma, he couldn't come like that and just on the front side take. So he was thinking what to do. So one day they were having picnic just near here. So he figured after they eat, then they're going to come wash their hands in this kund. Then I will get some remnant right from Krishna's finger. But of course Krishna is in everyone's heart. He could understand what Brahma was up to. He can't come on the front. He doesn't have that braja frame like the cowherd boys to come on front and take. So, what did he do? He came there to the Brahma Kund with his clean hand. He scooped water and over the dirt and washed it. Because unless you become follower of the residents of Braj, then you can't get the real braja frame. As long as you keep your false ego and all these things, unless you become humble follower, and of course we're very fortunate, we have the most dear resident of Braj, who made Braj famous all over the world. So we're following behind Srila Prabhupada. We're all certainly going to get this Braja Prem, especially by following Prabhupada all around Govardhan Hill. It's exclamation. Adri means hill. Antayam Adri Abala. This is coming from Venu Geet where all the gopis are talking. Gopis are girls. And legend has it that the men are the stronger. Bal, you know, Balaram, Bal. So girls means Abal. Balaram he's Bal, he's strong. And legend has it that women are the so-called weaker sex. So Abala, they're talking amongst themselves, the girls. So Hantaya Madri Abala, oh girls, Hantaya Madri Abala, Haridasa Bharja. This hill is the most bestest devotee of Lord. Not just Haridas, not just Haridas Savar, but Haridas Savarya. Hantaya Madri Abala Haridas Savarja. And Yam Rama Krishna Charanam Sparasham Pramoda. Can you follow? Rama, Krishna, Krishna and Balaram. Charana means?
Not to speak. Not to speak.
Yam Rama, Krishna, Charanam, Sparsham. You know Sparsham. Where did we hear in Bhagavad Gita Sparsham?
Touch.
Where in Bhagavad Gita do we hear? Matra sparshas tu kaunteya, by touch of the sense objects. So, Yam Rama Krishna, he's getting the touch of the lotus feet of Rama and Krishna. Yam Rama Krishna Charanam Sparasham Pramoda. Anybody has a friend named Pramod? You have a friend named Pramod? Maharaj must have. He knows one. Alright. This is a very common name.
Yes.
Pramod means very joyful. So this Govardhan, he's very joyful. Why? Because he's always getting the touch of the lotus feet of Rama and Krishna. And he's also very joyful. Why? Manam. Just like we know, Trinadapi Sunechena, Tarodapi Ahistana, Amanina, Manadena. Mana means to, Manadena means to give respect. So how is he giving respect? And who is he giving respect to? Not just to Lord, he is giving respect also to the devotees. That's why he's so joyful. If you want to know the secret of success, then you give respect and service to the Vaishnavas. So Manam Tanoti Sahago, to the cows, he's serving the cows, they're also devotees. Manam Tanoti Sahago, Ganayos, to the cowboys, the covered gun. You know Bhaktagan, so there's Gwal gun. Ganayos, Tayor, those two. Not just Lord, but the cows and the devotees. And then last is coming those two, Tayor Yat. He's giving respect to how he's serving them. Pani, just like the first word you learn of Hindi, what is that? Pani. Oh Prabhu, where's water? Where's pani? Pani, pani, pani. All day long in Parikram, pani, pani. You better buy it when we go through Govardhan town. So he's giving very nice, cool waters. Paniya. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is not just water, but also madhu. Madhu means honey dripping from the trees. And amras, mango juice. And piluras, we saw that pilu tree, piluras. So these types of things he's giving. Paniya, suyavasa. Suyavasi means grass. Two types. One is that durva grass we use for doing puja. And other is very soft, sweet, nourishing grass for the cows. He's giving both. Paniya suyavasa. Kundra. Then he has beautiful caves. When it's too hot, the cowboys can go inside the cave. When it's raining, they can go inside. And Radha and Krishna have very, very intimate pastimes inside these caves. That's why he's the most best devotee, because he's keeping Radha and Krishna concealed in his caves. Kandara and Kandamulai. Just like as we're going around, you see all the little push carts with these big, long, white vegetables. White radish. That we call muli. That is called muli. So Kandamula means fruits and roots. Because you'll see, the Brishvasis, they're hungry 24 hours a day. So he's always giving fruits and roots for all the cowboys. They can eat all day long. So, Paniya Suyavasa Kandara Kandamulai. Oh, Giriraj Maharaj ki. Put your drop off for when we get past Govardhan, you can start again. But everybody, all the Brishvasis will establish the Pushpa Samadhi of Tamal Krishna Maharaj here. He and Giriraj Maharaj, they developed this beautiful palace that used to belong to the Maharaj of Chhatarpur. So this is Bhaktivedanta Ashram. And here you see now Govardhan Hill has become very tall and beautiful. And you will notice as the sun rises, all the rocks begin to change colors. If you watch from the morning time and now the sun's a little higher and it gets higher, all day long they change different colors. It's very beautiful. And Govardhan is actually shaped just like a peacock. So down on this side, when we get to Govindakund, that is the tail. This is the body of the peacock. Then where the neck and the body join, that was Manasi Ganga, where we just were. And we saw there was a little passway over Govardhan Hill that is called gati. That is where it comes down, just like when you go down to bathe on the ghat, you go down to the waters. That is gati. It's very...
Down gati.
Down gati, yeah. That's Dan gati. Dan means that place Krishna put his, he dressed himself up as a tax collector and he wanted to tax the gopis who were taking milk and butter and yogurt to Govindakund because Bhaguri Muni was making a big sacrifice there. And the gopis protested that nobody ever stopped us to pay tax before, and he said, King Kandarpa, he told me that many people are passing through this way and they're making big profit and they're not giving any tax, you have to pay tax. And big argument was there, and he was saying that he told Radharani that for the beauty of your eyes you'll have to pay millions of rubies, for the beauty of your teeth you'll have to pay millions of pearls, for the beauty of your the beautiful moons on your lotus toenails, you'll have to give thousands or hundreds and thousands of moonstones. In this way, he was making huge tax. Big argument was going on. Finally, Nandimukhi came and she said, you just let these girls go. I'll be their guarantor that they'll pay the tax later. You just let them go to Govindakund. In this way, a whole big argument was there. This is Dan Gati, where the tax was taken. And just near Dan Gati is our beautiful Bhaktivedanta ashram. Oh, Giriraj Maharaj! Before it was very much neglected, but lately Hare Krishna, this place, there used to be a beautiful banyan tree here to give us shade. Somehow he dried up one year. But now we can see Giriraj is very tall. So we'll tell, we promise we'd tell you the story why he's so small down at that end and why he doesn't appear so big as we thought at this end even. Because one time there lived in Kashi, Benares, one rishi named Pulasta Rishi. And one time he went on pilgrimage throughout the universe. And just like, you know, we're here on Jambudvip. Just like whenever you do some puja, the Brahmin comes, you know, Jambudvipe, Bharat like that, all these things he say. So, this is Jambudvip. And he went to another dweep. Because Krishna had to arrange for all of his paraphernalia for his pastimes come to Braj. And he sent Giriraj, but Giriraj, because Golok Dham is huge, so that Giriraj was so big, so he came down on another dweep. I can't remember, Plaksha Dweep or some other dweep, not Jambudvip. So Palasta Muni, he came there and he saw this beautiful hill. This hill's name was Vishnugiri. So he saw beautiful waterfalls were flowing down the sides and beautiful trees and peacocks were crying. And so many birds were singing just like kokila. And beautiful doves were cooing. Radhe Shyam. So he saw this beautiful hill. He thought, this would be such a nice place, so many beautiful trees and waterfalls. Because Benares, that's just after Prayag, where Ganga and Jamuna join together. So that is the Gangatic plain, means plain, flat. So he thought, if I had this beautiful hill, that would be so nice. I could sit there and do my bhajan very nice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. So he asked that hill to please come to his place in Benares. So that hill said, first you have to get permission from my father. Because you know, the Indian children, they're very obedient to their parents. Aren't they? Yes, Maharaj. They're very obedient to their parents. They don't do anything without parents' permission. It's not like West. We count the days, as soon as 18, so tata, see you later. But they're very obedient. He said, you have to get permission from my father. So just nearby, there was another hill called Dronachal. A chal is a name we call for mountain. You know why? Because all day long we're telling you, chalo, 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 chalo. Well, mountains don't chalo, so they're achal. Achal, so his name was Dronachal. So as soon as he saw that Palasta Rishi had come, immediately he stood up with folded hands. Any service, Maharaj? Any seva, Maharaj? Any service for me, Maharaj? Huh? Just like when we go to make life membership, we go to some industrialist office, as soon as we come in, immediately stands up with folded hands, Maharaj, any service for me? So then, Palasta Rishi said, yes, I want to take your son back to my ashram in Benares. And Dronachal said, any other seva, Maharaj? Like when we tell that prospective life member, yes, you just give 14,444 rupees to become life member. They go, Maharaj, any other seva? So, Palasta Rishi became very angry. All right. First you promised service, now I told the service you're denying. He got ready to break his Brahman thread and curse him, so he didn't want to get cursed of Palasta Rishi. He said, Maharaj, please forgive me, what can I do? I'm so attached. But anyway, you please take my son, but there's one condition. Wherever you put him, he will never move from that spot. So Palasta Rishi said, this is great. All right, no problem. So then he went there, and Vishnugiri, after hearing the order of his father, he became light as a feather, and Palasta Rishi lifted him up, and he began to fly through the skies without even Jet Airways or Indian Airlines. He was very powerful. He could fly through the airways without any Jet Airways. So he was flying all night long. Early in the morning, he passed over this Braj. And sun was just coming up, and he was seeing the beauty of this place. And you know what happens early in the morning, right? As soon as we wake up, that certain bodily symptoms begin to manifest. Giriraj also felt that this is the place where I want to be, this is Braj, so he became a little heavy to help those bodily functions manifest. So then Palasta Rishi, he set Giriraj down here. That time Jamuna was flowing just nearby. That was 5,000 years ago, or maybe 5 million years ago. Jamuna was flowing nearby. So he did his morning duties, he took his bath, then he came back and he tried to lift the hill. And he couldn't lift the hill. He said, what? He said, my father told me, wherever you put me, I can't move from that spot. He said, but I just for a few minutes, I put you down for doing my morning duties. No, my father told him. We know the Indian children, they're very obedient to their fathers. They're very obedient to their parents. He said, no, my father told me I cannot move anymore. All right, you stay here, I don't care. But you will sink one till. Till means sesame seed. You saw the flat sesame seed is one till seed. He will sink into the ground every day. So he's sinking and sinking and sinking and sinking and sinking. For millions of years he's sinking. But we shouldn't think that Giriraj is subject to any Rishi's curse. Actually, this is just some Leela because Krishna thought that Giriraj from Golok, he's too big for my Braj Leela. So he wanted it to become smaller. So this is just some special Leela to make him smaller. Now to give you an example of how he's still shrinking, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says that Kusum Sarovar Mahaprabhu took his bath. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says Suman Sarovar. It's Kusum Suman, same thing, means flower. Mahaprabhu took his bath and took darshan of Govardhan hill. We saw any Govardhan there? Even in 500 years he sank so much. So why he's continuing to sink? Well, the answer to that, now our BBT is publishing this Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Srila Sanatana Goswami. And I'm sure the answer is probably, that they've done one volume, but probably will come in second volume. There one time, Uddhav went to Vrindavan and he came back and he told Nandanandan all about the agony of the Brijvasis in his separation. Still Krishna didn't go. And Balaram became so upset with him. You're so fickle, I can't understand you. They're suffering, you won't go. Huh? So then finally Balaram himself went. And he came back and he said, Kanhaiya, you're so fickle, you're such a rascal. They're all suffering, you can't believe it. I went there, Nanda Baba, he's practically become blind from crying. And Mother Yasoda also, she's practically blind. And they won't even look at each other, because if they look at each other, they'll see each other's face and they'll begin to cry even more. And the gopis, they're just lying in the fields. Their faces have become black in separation. The cow boys are not even playing their flutes. The cows are standing in the field. They take a bit of grass and then they just stop chewing. The calves don't even drink milk. They said, Kanhaiya, what to speak of animate things, even inanimate things. Govardhan. One group, Radhanath's got some group. I know there's many other groups. There's so many groups. Gurukulis have their group like that. So many groups of Vaishnavas going around the hill chanting. So if we all chant very nicely, maybe Giriraj will again rise up. Maybe he'll again rise up. So we should all chant very nicely and very enthusiastically as we walk around Giriraj, give him some association of Krishna's holy name.
It's good that ISKCON is not shrinking.
Because as soon as Giriraj disappears, then Kali Yuga will really begin. You think you saw something now. When Giriraj disappears, then Kali Yuga really begins. Now out here, behind this village, this must be a village of scholars, because all the children, they keep asking for pencil. It must be a scholar's village, Brahmin's village or something. And out over here, there's a place called Chandra Sarovar and Paita. Chandra Sarovar is where Krishna performed the Vasanta Ras Leela. We were hearing before, Narad Muni wanted to get darshan. Then in Paita, remember, Krishna disappeared from the Rasa dance. Even in the springtime he disappeared. And then he took on a form of Vishnu with 4 arms. And the gopis, they came, they saw Lord Vishnu, they paid their obeisances and they said, "Oh, Prabhu, did you see which way Krishna went? Did you see which way Nandanandan? Did you see Samsundar, which way he went?" And Krishna in the form of Vishnu with his 4 arms, he said, "Yes, he went that way." But as soon as Radharani appeared before him, he could no longer maintain those extra 2 arms. Then they saw that Shamsundar was standing right in front of them. So this is a place just across the fields here called Paita. So who wants to lead kirtan? I'm here from America, from Germany, from Italy, from Mauritius, from Russia, from Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and so many stans. I don't know if we have anybody from Pakistan, from South Africa, from the Durban, the farthest forest of Braj. So Giriraj is so shocked, you see all his hairs are standing straight up on end. He's so shocked to see all these Vaishnavas have come to do Parikrama today. From Punjab, from Tamil Nadu, from Kerala, from Bengal, from Orissa. So many Vaishnavas have come from so many places, from Maharashtra. He's just completely shocked. All his hairs are standing on end. Now just straight ahead of us is probably the biggest Shila of Govardhan Hill, right in it. Sort of, there's several big ones here, but right behind this tree branch practically, you see one of the biggest Shilas of Govardhan Hill. And you see all these little houses. These are not living houses. These are for keeping cow dung. They make the little cow dung patties. Then they store them in these little houses so that in the rainy season they don't get destroyed, and they use this cow dung for cooking, for making their kitchen floor, for their front doorstep, for so many building houses, so many useful things. So now we're going to enter the village of Aniyor. So everybody stay together. Everybody enjoyed this nice forest path?
Yes.
Much better than the blacktop road, huh? But unfortunately we're going to go back on the blacktop road for a little more. But after breakfast we're going to go by a secret forest path by the side of Govardhan Hill. So I want everybody, we're going to go through the village of Aniyor. We'll tell something on the other side. So I want everybody to chant very enthusiastically so we can enliven all the Govardhan Basis who live here. Oh, Giriraj Maharaj! So now we pass through the village of Aniyor. This was where the original Anukut ceremony took place. And also you can see on top of the hill the old and new temple of Gopalji, who later has gone to Nathadwar and become Srinathji. And this kund is known as Sankarshan Kund. Inside the village here, they have a very beautiful ancient Daoji temple to Lord Balaram. So this is the place where that original Anukut ceremony took place. As you'll remember that Nanda Maharaj, he began the preparations for doing the Indrajagya. And then Lala came and said, Baba, Baba, what's going on? And then Krishna began to, he was just ignoring him. And then Krishna began to explain that he understood all about Jagyas. And then Nanda Maharaj began to explain, this is, rain comes from Indra, so we do this yagya every year. So, Krishna began, the Supreme Lord himself began to preach atheism. He said, rain is falling in the ocean, it's falling on the rock, it's falling everywhere. No need to worship any Indra. We just do our work, and what is the use of all this stuff? And finally, he convinced him that actually, if we want to worship something, you should worship Govardhan Hill. Govardhan Hill's providing nice grasses and nice cool water and so many nice things. So we should just worship Govardhan Hill. So Nanda Baba said, all right, we'll do a separate jagya, but let us do our Indra jagya. He said, no, you got all this ghee and grains, it took a long time to get it all together. Better just use it for Govardhan Puja. So finally Nanda Maharaj agreed. So here in this place, they made mountains and mountains of puris, and mountains of pakoras and samosas. Oh, you're getting hungry now, huh? I still haven't seen the breakfast bus come yet, so. And mountains of pots full of gulab jamans and rasgullas, and all lakes full of sweet rice and nectar, and nice drinks like that, and mountains of laddus, and mountains of pots of paneer sabji, and mountains of so many different types of sabjis, and mountains of rice with butter on top, and like that, so many mountains and mountains of hills of prasadam they offered. So at that time, here comes Aristasur. Suddenly another form of Krishna appeared on top of the hill, great big form of Krishna. And the stones made like a beautiful throne, and he sat down on that throne. And the other Krishna and Balaram turned to all the Brijvasis and said, just see the wonderful form that Giriraj has taken. And Krishna bowed down, and Balaram, they bowed down to that big Krishna on top of the hill, and all the Brijvasis bowed down. And then that form of Krishna on top of the hill, he looked at all of this mountains and mountains of prasad, and he began to eat everything. And because he's just a little boy, he doesn't know what his right hand, what his left hand, with so much is there, he just began to eat with right hand, left hand. Suddenly he had hundreds of right hands and hundreds of left hands in just a few minutes. Bloop, 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 bloop. He drank up all those lakes of sweet rice and nectar. He ate up all those puris and gulab jamans, paneer sabji and puris and samosas. And everything was finished. And just like these little children, you see, they never stop. He began to cry, Aniyor, Aniyor, give me more, give me more. And Nanda Baba said, but whatever we had, we've offered, there's nothing else, you please be satisfied. And he began to cry, Aniyor, Aniyor, give me more, give me more. And even Krishna came and he shrugged his shoulders, but whatever we had, we've offered, there's nothing left, you please be satisfied. Aniyor, Aniyor, give me more, give me more. Just like all these little children, like, give me more pencil. So, at that time, some Brahmins approached Sri Nandanandan, and they gave him some tulsi leaves. So he offered those tulsi leaves to the form of Krishna on top of the hill. That form of Krishna took those tulsi leaves in his mouth, and he said, Santosmi, Santosmi, now I'm fully satisfied. You ever heard on the tape Prabhupada say that, Now I'm fully satisfied. As soon as he was fully satisfied, then all of those mountains of rice with ghee on top of it, and mountains of laddus, and mountains of puris, and baskets of samosas and kachoris, and all those laddus, and all the paneer sabji and everything, all of a sudden, all the lakes of nectar and sweet rice, everything re-manifests itself here at this place. So this is where that original Annakut ceremony took place. And even today, this village is known as?
Aniyor.
As what?
Aniyor.
As what?
Aniyor.
As what?
Aniyor.
So now we're going to go, Giriraj is shaped like a peacock, so now we're coming to the tail of Giriraj. But there's even devotees here from Singapore. Another reason why he's so shocked is there's one devotee here with us named Nitya Krishna Das standing here with a yellow bead bag. He's totally blind and he's coming on Parikram with us. So Giriraj is completely shocked and all his hairs are flying. Excuse me. Here, brother. So that right half of the month of Kartik, first day, was the Govardhan. They didn't even know about. In fact, this pastime is a very, very special pastime to show very special mercy to all of the Brijbasis. Because nobody ever gets to get darshan of Nandanandan all the time. Mother Yasoda, she sees him in the morning when she bathes him and dresses him and sends him off to the cowherd fields. He's with the cowherd boys all day. The villagers, when he goes to the cowherd fields, they all stand on the roofs and they watch him go. In the afternoon, they see him come back. Then Mother Yasoda again bathes him and dresses him and feeds him and puts him to bed. Then he sneaks out and all night long he's with the gopis. But nobody's with him all the time. So Nandanandan, he made this pastime just to show special mercy to the Brijbasis. Because now, for 7 days and 7 nighs, all the Brijbasis got 24-hour darshan of the moon-like face of Nandanandan. Everybody! Otherwise, Mother Yasoda, they see him in the morning and the evening, and the cowherd boys, they see him all day, and the gopis, they see him at night, but nobody sees him all the time. Now, everybody got to see him all the time for 7 days and 7 nights, and they didn't even feel hungry, just like they're saying prasad is here. And everybody's saying, when's this guy going to stop talking so we can eat? They didn't even feel hungry or thirsty. Pali पुंडरीक ग्रुप को खिलाओ फिर हम लोग आएंगे. So they didn't feel hunger, they didn't feel thirst. Not like me, I'm very thirsty. Let me have some water. They were just seeing the beautiful face of Nandanandan day and night for 7 days and 7 nights. So when Indra, he saw this happen, he really got disturbed. Then he realized, oops, he made a big mistake. So quickly he told that Samvardhika cloud, beat it, get out of here, quick. Get scarce. And he jumped on his elephant and he went back to Indraloka. Indraloka, he sat down on his throne and he looked very worried. Mother Sachi also was very worried. She went to Brihaspati, said, I don't know, he's just sitting there. Sometimes he leans on one elbow, sometimes he leans on the other. He doesn't even come home to take rest. He doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he's not talking. Something must have happened. So then Brihaspati went there, and as soon as Brihaspati heard what happened, he said, now you really blew it. Sometimes we make Vaishnava Parad, huh? Hey, you stupid nonsense. We say things like that sometimes to Vaishnavas. But Indra, he tried to destroy the Brijbasis who were more dear to Krishna than his own life. This was a maha mad elephant offense. He said, you really blew it now. He said, even if you go to Krishna, he's not even going to look at you. What to speak of forgive you. So best thing is you take shelter of a devotee. And best devotee is this Surabhi cow from the Golok. She's a devotee and she's a cow, and cows and devotees are very dear to Krishna. So this is our position also. We're great offenders, great rascals, so we can't approach Krishna directly. We take shelter of his pure devotee who's leading us around Govardhan Hill today by his mercy and his grace. Just like when I first came to India, I guess it must be British English or something. In America we ask the question in a different way. But everyone always used to come up to me and say, and what is your qualification? Is it my qualification? My only qualification is Srila Prabhupada, otherwise I don't have any qualification. In America we ask, what kind of degree do you have from the university or something, but I guess it must be British way of saying it. What is your qualification? I don't have any qualification. The qualification is Srila Prabhupada. And that's all of our only qualification, is only because you usually see all of Prabhupada's letters. At the end, what does he say? I'm always praying to Krishna that you young boys and girls will advance in Krishna consciousness. So this is our only qualification. We take shelter of Krishna's pure devotees. So we'll see that place in a little while. Surabhi-kund, such a sweet and wonderful place. So on the other side of the hill, Indra came with his elephant. But that elephant doesn't have just one trunk. That elephant has many, many, many trunks. And huge elephant. And Krishna was just wandering around Govardhan Hill at that time, trying to inspect everything, because after the rain stopped, he put the hill back down, everybody came out. So he was wandering around with all the cowherd boys and the calves. Now as soon as those cows saw that elephant, just like on the 7th, we have big procession with Srila Prabhupada, so sometimes we get an elephant. And usually at the end of the procession, we have the bullock cart from the Goshala giving out halava prasadam. Now we use the Food for Life van, but anyway, we used to use a bullock cart. And in the beginning, because everything's starting, so everybody's all in one place. And you've seen bulls, bulls, they just walk. They never go backwards. But as soon as the bullock cart used to come from the Goshala and they saw that elephant there in front of the procession, then their ears, they're like down like this, their ears used to go, and eyes used to get very big, and that bull began to go backwards. So those cows saw that big elephant, not with one trunk, many trunks, and their ears went, their eyes got very big, and they, you know what cows do when they run? Have you ever seen? Oh, you guys all live in the city, you never saw. When the cows run, they put their tails up in the sky as a warning to all the other cows. You ever seen? They put their tail, and then they kick this way, and they kick that in case somebody's coming from behind. They're running away. So they kick like this, and so all the cows, they put their tails up, warning to all the other cows. They were kicking, and they all ran away, and all the cowherd boys ran after them. So meanwhile, Indra, he came down, and he fell flat on the ground. The king of heaven, Indra, with his big crown, he fell flat on the ground and paid his dandavats. And Nandanandan, he walked by and he didn't even look at him from the corner of the corner of the corner of the corner of his eye. He didn't even look at him. He didn't pay attention, just like he didn't exist. So then he called Surabhi, he said, please, you better go. So So then Surabhi came, he said, oh, Indra, he's your devotee. He got a little puffed up, but actually he's very sorry. He's your devotee. So just like, sometimes the child in the womb kicks the mother, but the mother doesn't take any offense. So he's just a little child like that in your womb of your protection. So you please forgive him. In this way, she interceded on behalf, and Krishna agreed to forgive Indra. So then they came over here to this place. And that elephant, Airavata, he brought water from the Ganga, not the Ganga on this planet, from that celestial Ganga. He brought water from there in all of his trunks. And they began to perform the Abhishek of Sri Nandanandan. And that Surabhi cow, just from her udder, she began to pour milk like this, and a beautiful Abhishek ceremony was taking place. And then all of the different demigods began to come. Lord Shiva came, Lord Brahma came, all the Saptarishis came, everyone was coming to that great Abhishek ceremony, the moon, the sun, everybody was coming to that great Abhishek ceremony of Lord Krishna. And they were all bringing gifts, just like the moon brought a very beautiful mirror. Like there's so many things. The Saptarishis, they brought these beautiful lotus flowers from the heavenly planets. But just at that time, the moon appeared. As soon as the moon appeared, all of those lotuses closed their face. And all the rishis were disappointed. Just then, Surya Bhagavan came. As soon as the lotuses saw Surya, then they opened up again, and then they were able to offer these beautiful, fully blossomed lotus flowers to Lord Krishna. This way all the demigods came, and there was a whole big ceremony. Abhishek was going on. And all of that Abhishek water collected in this kund right in front of you here. So then Lord Indra, he took a crown after the Abhishek. Then he sat Krishna on a beautiful throne, and he took a crown and he crowned him as Govinda. Up to that time he'd been known as Gopal. From this pastime, he became known as Govinda. Because Srila Jiva Goswami explains in Gopal Champu, just like, how many people have a friend named Narendra? You have a friend named Narendra? Yeah. We have our Narendra Krishna right here. So Nar means human, and Indra means Indra. So the Indra, the human beings, means the king. Just like Indra, he's the king of all the demigods. So the Indra amongst the human beings means the king of the human beings. The king of men. The king. Or Yogendra. He's the best of all the yogis. So he's the Indra amongst the yogis, like that. Yogendra, Mahendra, so many names like that. So Govinda means the king of the cow. Now what is the significance of it being the king of the cows? Because all the 33 crore demigods, they live in the body of the cow. Just like you go to our Brindakun booth in the mini market, and Devi Shakti's got so many beautiful postcards all about cows that we have left over from our Goshala Mela. And one of those postcards is all the demigods in the body of the cow. So you can go there and give donation to Brindakun. Put a little plug in. So if Krishna becomes the king of the cows, that means he becomes king of Lord Indra and all the demigods. So from this day he became known as Govinda. And this kund where all Abhishek water poured into, this became known as Govinda Kund. And anybody who takes bath in this Govinda Kund gets Govinda Prem. So then, after they crowned him, they performed artik. And they had beautiful conch shells covered with gold and silver and pearls and rubies. They had diamond-studded peacock fans and coral-handled chamar fans. And they had rubies and pearls inlaid into the deeps they were offering, like this huge opulent Arctic ceremony was going on, and all the demigods were chanting the Vedas and Purusha prayers and so many Vedic mantras, you know, just like that, and chanting very perfect meter and rhyme. And Lala was sitting there shaking his head very nicely as they were doing this opulent Arctic ceremony, and all the apsaras were there dancing. Opulent Arctic paraphernalia. Conch shells covered with rubies and diamonds and gold and silver with pearls and coral-handled tamara fans and diamond-studded peacock feather fans and so many wonderful deep with rubies and diamonds and so many wonderful things. So the cowboys, they saw Nandanandan sitting there on this throne and they saw all these things, so they just picked up everything and began to play like they were doing arti. And they weren't even singing Veda stutis. They were just singing little Brijbasi tunes, and if you've ever heard the Brijbasis sing, they can't even sing on tune, you know. So they were just singing their simple little Brijbasi songs. Arati Kunja Vihari Ki Sri Giridhari Krishna Murari Krishna Murari Ki Arati Kunja Vihari Ki Sri Giridhari Krishna Murari. Not even on tune. Realize that Nandanandan had just officially accepted their artik. But these coward boys, they had so much love, he was really accepting their artik. He was just laughing, he was so happy. He was just officially, for them, he was just like sometimes, you know, they're going to open up a new bridge, and so the mayor comes, he'd rather be on the beach drinking his martini, but he has to worry about his vote, so he comes there and he smiles for the press photographs, like that. You know, his opposition leader is there, so he's just giving artificial smile. You know, it's all official. There's no love. So like that, Krishna was just, that was just official. But for these Brijbasis singing, they're not even singing on tune, not even singing Vedic mantras, just singing simple Brijbasi songs. Lala was so happy. He was actually accepting their art. So at that time, Nanda Baba and all the senior Brijbasis came. Because they heard something about gold and silver, you know. I mean, first he was stealing butter and yogurt, but this is too much. So of course Nanda Baba, he knows everything, but he wants the Brijbasis to understand something. So he comes there with all the Brijbasis. And all the cowherd boys, suddenly they look up and they see all their elders are there. And Nanda Baba says, where do you get all this gold and silver, rubies, pearls, coral, diamonds? Baba, it was just here, we just found it here. Yeah, right. Just like we come home at night, there's a big mess in the living room, and we say, who made this mess? No one, Baba, it just happened. Yeah, right. So like that, Nanda Baba says, yeah, right, you just found all these rubies and pearls and emeralds and diamonds and gold and silver, you just found it here, huh? Then Madhu Mangal was there, he said, Baba, Baba, I saw everything, it's true, Baba, it's true, Baba. I swear it's true, Baba. I saw everything because they don't know what happened, Baba. Because this big elephant came, Baba, not with one trunk, many trunks, and all the cows ran away and they all ran after the cows. But Baba, I'm lame. I can't run. So I was sitting in the bushes and I saw everything, Baba. I saw it. I saw everything, Baba. I saw it. What happened, Baba? This guy came. I crossed my heart and hope to die, Baba. It's true. This guy, he had eyes all over his whole body, Baba. And he fell down on the ground and offered his obeisances to Lala, and Lala didn't even look at him. And then, Baba, this cow came. I never saw a cow like that, Baba. And she began to talk to Lala. Then after that, they came over here, and that elephant, he began to pour water, and that cow, she began to pour milk. And then, Baba, you won't believe it, some guy came, Baba, he had 5 heads, Baba. And this big snake around his neck and a trident. I swear it's true, I crossed my heart, hope to die, Baba. 4 heads. Some guy came with 4 heads, Baba. Then all these girls were there dancing, and all these people were playing instruments, and all these people came, and then they did this big artik ceremony, and then they left, and they left everything here. And the boys, they don't know, they just came and they found it here. It's true, Baba. I swear it's true. I'd cross my heart up to die. It's true, Baba. I saw everything. They don't know, but I saw everything, Baba. So then this voice came from the sky, telling Nanda Maharaj that he should crown Krishna as Govinda. Because that was just official one. That was official crowning. Now Nanda Maharaj, with Braja Prem, he's going to crown him as Govinda. So then he took that crown, and again he placed that crown on Lala's head and crowned him as Govinda. To that time he'd been known as Gopal. From this day he became known as Govinda. And this kund where the Abhishek water came became known as Govinda Kund. And Bhakti Ratnakara says anybody who takes the water from this kund on his head, then he gets Govinda Prem. Now we're sitting here at a very special place. You see, this is a very, 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 very ancient Kadamba tree. In fact, you can see the roots go for about 20 feet down the ghats here. It's an ancient Kadamba tree. Underneath this Kadamba tree, that's why this beautiful deity of Gopal is here. Underneath this Kadamba tree is where Madhavendra Puri sat. Right here in this place. That's why I like to come here in the shady place here. Madhavendra Puri sat here. And one little cowherd boy came and said, Baba, Baba, why are you fasting? Because Madhavendra Puri's process was that if somebody gave him something to eat, he ate. If nobody offered him anything to eat, then he fasted. It wasn't like us, oh, come on, when are you going to stop so we can eat? We're hungry, you know. No, he never complained. As you like. You go ahead. You have my blessings. This is our Pundarik Prabhu, my dear. Where were we? Oh, Madhavendra Puri. So that little boy said, why are you fasting? Nobody in my village fasts. Everybody has plenty to eat. If they don't have anything to eat, they beg from others and everyone gives them to eat. Just like if you go to Braj, you just take your chadar and you say, Radhisham Marukuri, Radhisham Marukuri. You get nice, thick rotis. You know roti, you know chapati. The roti, not with any rolling pin, like this. Nice and thick and with ghee on top. This is roti, Raj roti. Oh, wow, wow. Maybe we'll get some on the way here to the villages. You get nice roti and kheer, but they don't. Sometimes we go to life members' house and just like milk with a little rice in it. But the Brishbazis, they make kheer nice and thick. You know, it just goes. It's nice and thick kheer. Wow. So like that. If you don't have anything, you just beg and people give you. He said, nobody fasts in my village. So anyway, take this milk. The cowherd lady saw you sitting here, so they were milking the cow, so they sent me with this milk for you. I'll come back later and get my pot. So then that little boy ran away, and Madhavendra Puri offered this pot of milk to his lord. Then he tasted that prasadam. He had never tasted milk like this before in his life. Because he didn't even put any sugar, but it was so celestially sweet and so nice and so wonderful. And he waited and waited for that cowboy to come back and take his milk, a milk pot. But he never came, and late in the night he was chanting and chanting, and he... So when he dozed off, that little boy came to him in dream and said, Madhavendra Puri, oh Madhavendra Puri, please come, I am lying here in the brambles and the bushes. The Muslim soldiers attacked and the Pujari threw me in the bushes and ran away, and he never came back. And I'm lying here in the heat and the rain and the cold and the dirt and everything. And he took him to Bhakti Ratnakara says, just see the dense forest on the side of the cliff. We'll pass by there, underneath that tree where Gopalji was found. So suddenly, Madhavendra Puri woke up. Then he called all the villagers. He had this dream, and they went. And he went into the forest, and he recognized that place, and they began to cut away all the bushes and brambles and stickers and everything, and suddenly they found this beautiful deity of Gopal with his left hand raised in this hot sky and beautiful, just like that Ekadasi moon that we saw a few nights ago, just like that. His eyes are so beautiful like that. And they just took him on top of the hill and leaned him up against a rock, and they performed a beautiful Abhishek ceremony. And one village came and they took all their stock of grains and ghee and 10 Brahmins and cooked a feast, and the next village came. And this way for days and days and days, Annakut ceremony was going on. For days and days and days. So this is that beautiful spot where underneath this Kadamba tree where Madhavendra Puri, this Kadamba tree sold, it must be that same one from 500 years ago. And you see beautiful, such the cutest deities on Govardhan are here. Yeah, aren't they? So, isn't he just the sweetest deity you ever saw? So nice. Maharaj ki so astounded, all his hairs are standing on end. You see all his hair, he's just completely shocked. Vaishnavas have come from all over the world, they're chanting and dancing in ecstasy on the banks of Govinda Kund. He's totally shocked. Another reason he's shocked is in our party we have one devotee from Russia and he's doing foot Parikram with us and he's totally blind. One devotee is Nitya Krishna Das. Where is he? Anyway, he's totally blind. So here I'm just astounded, even a blind person doing Parikram. So, one of my hopes by bringing or by seeing so many Vaishnavas here chanting the holy name is that you must have already heard how Gira is sinking into the ground. But don't think that by the curse of any Muni or Rishi he's sinking into the ground. He was sinking, he performed that whole pastime with Palasta Rishi because Giriraj, when he came from Golok, he was so huge, he was too big for Braj Leela. So by this pastime he came just the right size. Now somebody can ask, then why does he continue to shrink? He's shrunk down to the right size for Braj Leela, why is he still shrinking? Because we can see that he's shrinking. How? You can read in Chaitanya Charitamrita when Mahaprabhu left Radhakund to start his Govardhan Parikram. First he came to Suman Sarovar. The Chaitanya Charitamrita says Suman. Suman or Kusum, the same thing, means flower. It says that Mahaprabhu took darshan of Suman Sarovar and from there he took darshan of Govardhan Hill. When you went to Kusum Sarovar, you saw Govardhan Hill here? Anybody saw? Nobody saw. But Chaitanya Charitamrita is written that he took darshan of Suman Sarovar and then took darshan of Giriraj. So even in 500 years he shrank so much. So the answer for that, especially for us that is coming on your way, you must have passed the Bhaktivedanta ashram. You saw that? Very beautiful ashram on this, just past Gati. And there some very important work is going on, translating the Brihad Bhagavatamrita of Srila Sanatana Goswami. Now first volume is present, but I believe the answer is in the second volume. So I won't let you wait till the second volume is published, I'll tell you. You remember that Krishna, he sent Uddhava to Braj with a message for all the Brajvasis. And then he came back and he told Sri Nandananda that the Brajvasis were suffering so much in this separation, you must go there. And Krishna said, yeah, I'll come. But he never went. Even Balaram got on his case. He said, come on, Kanaya. You heard, he said they're all suffering, let's go. You're such a rascal, I can't believe it. Alright, if you don't go, then I'm going. So Baldao, he came to Braj. Stayed for 2 months, Chaitra and Vaisak. Then he returned. He told his little brother, you're so fickle, I can't believe it. Everybody there's suffering so much. Bimali Yasoda, she's practically become blind from crying. Nanda Maharaj, he's also practically blind from crying. They don't even speak to each other. They don't even look at each other. If they look at each other, they'll see the sadness you see on his face and they'll start crying again and again. They don't even look, they don't even talk to each other. All the cowherd boys, they're not playing on their flutes or dancing, they're just standing in the fields or lying under the trees, just barely maintaining their life. The gopis are also not churning the butter, they're just lying down, practically turning black in separation. The cows, They take a bite of grass, but then they don't even continue to chew. The calves put the nipple in their mouth and they start to suck, and then they just stop. Did you ever see that? You ever seen how they milk the cows? They have to, first they bring the calf, and that little calf sucks a little bit. Then with great difficulty, sometimes it takes two people, they have to pull that calf away. You know? They have to tie that calf up, then they milk. Just there, trying to break that rope. So can you imagine taking the nipple in the mouth and just... That's how much separation they were feeling. And Baladev said, Kanaya, what to speak of animate things? Even inanimate things are experiencing your separation. I saw it. Even Giriraj is shrinking out of separation from you. Giriraj is shrinking out of separation. That's why he continues to shrink. So I have one desire, or hope, let's say, that by bringing thousands of Vaishnavas here to do Govardhan Parikram and chant the holy name, because that holy name is not different from Krishna himself. I have great hope that if we bring, now we're maybe altogether, we're not even 2,000. If we bring thousands and thousands of Vaishnavas here and chant the holy name, who knows, maybe Giriraj will rise up to his former glory. So we should all chant, he's getting the association of the holy name, which is not different from Krishna. So we should all chant, because as soon as he disappears, when Giriraj shrinks down and disappears, then Kali Yuga really begins. You ain't seen nothing yet. It's bad now. When Giriraj disappears, it's all over. So somehow or other we keep bringing more and more thousands of Vaishnavas here to chant the holy name in ecstasy. Hare Giriraj will rise up to his